Hi again, everybody. My name is Greg Anderson, and this is the Good Timekeeping Show with Greg Anderson. And today I want to talk about these watches here. A quick review of the Rangeman. I've done an in-depth review on each of these watches, but let's kind of cut to the chase and go over all of the main functions and features quickly. In case you don't want to watch that whole long, detailed, in-depth video, you can certainly watch those videos if you want to. But let's just cut to the chase here. This is two different versions here. This was kind of the more basic version that you can get. $330 is the suggested retail on this one, although it's easy to find it for below $220. It's kind of street price on this one here. This one is a little bit different though. This was kind of a Japanese exclusive, so I had to order this from someone that was in Japan. And with this two-tone carbon fiber watch band here, this one cost right around $400 for that guy there. So if you're really serious about the Rangeman and you really like this color combination, you could consider paying extra for that. But if you think this one is just fine as it is, I would say, go for it. Find a good deal on this guy. And for just a couple $100, you've got a feature-packed watch. Let's just take a quick look at this one. They all have the same functions and features, all except for, the carbon fiber and the colors on this guy here. So here you go. Lots of stuff to talk about. Now, first, it's tough solar, which means there's a solar cell built into the face of the watch, and that will keep the power supply charged with just normal exposure to everyday lighting conditions. If you wear this watch on a regular basis, it'll get enough light to keep that battery topped off. And if you're not wearing it, don't store it in a drawer. Keep it on a countertop, a desktop, or somewhere where it's going to get exposure to just normal lighting conditions, and then you should be fine there. So you don't have to worry about changing the battery. I guess eventually the rechargeable battery might wear out, but I've got a watch that's 17 years old, tough solar, and I've never had to open it up to change a battery. So you may expect similar results. Another key feature of this watch that I love is multiband 6, and that means there's a radio receiver built into the watch, and that will automatically receive atomic time information overnight to keep this watch perfectly synchronized to the right time all the time. There are 6 transmitters in different parts of the world. There's one in China. There are 2 in Japan. There's also one in the UK and one in Germany, and of course WWVB here in North America. So if you're within range of any of those transmitters, then this watch will receive the atomic time information overnight, and it'll just be right all the time. All you have to do is set the right time zone and you're good to go. All the other stuff on here, now look at that. Feature-packed face, there's the date. This up here can show you a little graph of barometric pressure changes, or if I tap that button there, then that'll just show you the day of the week. So kind of multiple functions there, and this little dial here also has multiple functions. Right now it's just counting like a little analog counter to also match the seconds in the regular time display, but there's hours, minutes, and seconds for the time. It's showing me that daylight saving time is now being shown. Right there it's telling me that the radio control reception was okay, that little symbol there. And power save is a mode that will turn the screen off at night to save power, but it's easy to bring it back out of that sleep state. And right there, some indications on the if the hourly signal is set or the alarms are set. Right now the alarms are not set. Mute, so sometimes it beeps a lot when you press buttons to change modes, but you can mute that. It will still make sounds when you get to the end of a countdown timer or when the alarms go off, but it's just not going to make as many sounds when it's in mute mode. And right there in the middle, you can see the state of the battery, low, medium, or high. Right now it indicates that the battery is on a high charge, and that's good. If it gets down to low, then some of the functions will stop in order to save battery power. But as long as it's up in medium or high, everything works and it'll be just great. This is a tough watch and kind of a big watch, I admit. It's got the 200-meter water resistance and all that legendary toughness of a G-Shock, so you can't really go wrong with this one. And it just has that rugged design, and everything about it looks great. Oh, but there are lots more features to talk about. So let's change modes here. If I push the mode button, there's your world time mode, and you can choose some other time zone in some other part of the world to show up here. And there's your local time still right there. Also a stopwatch, and this is unique in that it is a 1,000-hour stopwatch. which is more than a month. It'll keep going for 1,000 hours. And if you don't stop it, then it will reset to 0 and keep on going. So I've just got a few watches that have the 1,000-hour stopwatch. This is one of them. Also, your countdown timer, this can be up to 24 hours of countdown timer on that one. The alarms, you've got your hourly signal that you can activate. Then there are the 4 alarms, and the 5th alarm is a snooze alarm, which will repeat every 5 minutes for up to half an hour if you've got the snooze alarm activated. Next, it'll show you sunrise and sunset times for your location. By default, that's going to be based on your time zone, wherever the major city is in your time zone, but you can go in the setup and give it your more precise latitude and longitude, and then it will calculate your sunrise and sunset time that's for today's date, but I can scroll ahead and see what the sunrise and sunset times will be for some other date right there. So you've got that. Okay, then recall. You see there's the ability to save some of the information that's on the screen here into the watch memory. This is where you would recall those things. This tells you about the radio reception for that time information. So this is telling me that the last time it received that atomic time information was just after 1 o'clock this morning. That's today's date. And this is also the place where you can manually start an atomic time reception, or you can turn off atomic time reception so that it will never happen automatically on its own. But where I am, reception is good. It doesn't affect the battery life very much, and I would rather just leave it turned on. The thing about battery life in here is that the thing is rechargeable very easily with a little bit of light, so I don't worry about running the battery down too much. And those are all your main modes. You also have quick access to the stopwatch if you're in the main timekeeping mode here, and I just press this button marked forward, and there I go. I'm right into the stopwatch, and it has started the stopwatch automatically right there. Now, they got this big button on the side here, and let's demonstrate it with this version of the watch. So that says sensor, and it's a triple sensor, as it says right there, Casio triple sensor. So the triple sensor is a barometer and a thermometer and a compass. And the barometer is also used to calculate your altitude. So you get some altimeter readings from that barometric altimeter. So if I push this, then there's the barometer right there, and there's the temperature. Press it again, there's my altitude, and press it again, and there's my compass. And I kind of have to have this flat to the horizon for the compass to work well. I won't go into all the details of how to use those functions, but just know that they're there. And that is your major overview of the G-Shock Rangeman. This is the GW-9400. And again, it's available in a few variations with different colors and different materials. A lot of those different variations are kind of limited edition, and so you're going to pay a price if you get too far into the weeds there looking for your all your different variations. But basically, if you stick with this guy here, you can get it for a pretty good bargain, especially considering all the features that are packed into it. Something like this, you'd pay a little bit more for that. And if you want to go in between, if you want a watch that has the yellow highlights here on the case and the bezel and all that, but just has a regular black band, you can save some money versus this Japanese version. So again, GW-9400, look around. The module is module 3410. It's got that fancy back on there. And, look for some bargains, see what you like, see what colors you like. And I think it's a great value. You're going to enjoy it. A nice, big, bulky watch. That's my quick review, even though I know it's been a few minutes, of the GW-9400 Rangeman watch. And I hope you'll join me again soon for more episodes of the Good Timekeeping Show.